My dear students of Rajputara Model College English Medium Section, I am Golok Chandra Sarkar, Associate Professor of Chemistry, Rajputara Model College. I hope you all are well at your residence. Since your college is remaining closed, we are uploading video lecture. Today, I shall upload the second video lecture on chapter 4 of second paper, electrochemistry. Today, we shall discuss the following points. Number 1, definition of electrolysis. Number 2, electrolysis of molten sodium chloride. Number 3, electrolysis of molten aluminum oxide. Number 4, electrochemical series of ions. Number 5, electroplating. And number 6, electrorefining of metal. Let us start with the definition of electrolysis. The process of carrying out chemical reaction, that is redox reaction, by passing electricity through electrolytes in molten form or in aqueous solution is called electrolysis. In this process, a compound is analyzed into its component element by passing electricity through it. So the name of this process is given electrolysis. In the previous class, I have discussed about the electrolytes. What are electrolytes? You know, the compounds which conduct electricity in molten form or in aqueous solution are known as electrolytes. When we pass electricity through electrolytes in molten form or in aqueous solution, the compound undergoes dissociation or get analyzed. This analysis is done by passing electricity through the electrolyte in molten form or in aqueous solution. For this reason, the name of the process is given electrolysis. Now we shall study some example of electrolysis. At first, the electrolysis of molten sodium chloride. During melting, sodium chloride ionizes according to this equation. It is very easy equation for you. Sodium chloride ionizes to produce sodium ion and chloride ion. Look at the figure. This is the figure for the electrolysis of molten sodium chloride. After ionization, electricity is passed through this molten sodium chloride with the help of a battery or electricity source. With the help of this battery or electricity source, the electrodes are given positive charge or negative charge. The electrode connected to the positive end of the battery gets positive charge, and the electrode connected to the negative charge of the battery, negative side of the battery, gets negative charge. In molten form, sodium ion and chloride ion can freely move from one place to another place where electricity is passed. Sodium ion being positively charged, moves to the negatively charged electrode, and it accepts electron according to this equation. Sodium ion accepts electron to produce sodium metal, which is the reduction reaction, and the electrode at which reduction occurs is called cathode. You all know, I repeat, the electrode at which reduction occurs is known as cathode. On the other hand, chloride ion being negatively charged, it migrates to the positively charged electrode and releases electron to be oxidized. According to this equation, chloride ion releases electron to produce chlorine gas. It is oxidation, and the electrode at which oxidation occurs is called anode. So the anode reaction is chloride ion releasing electron to produce chlorine gas. In this way, sodium chloride get analyzed into its two component elements, sodium and chlorine. Look at this cell reaction, the complete reaction. Sodium chloride is decomposed or analyzed into its component elements, sodium and chlorine. And it is a redox reaction. This redox reaction is carried out by passing electricity through molten sodium chloride. So the process is an electrolysis process. In this process, we can analyze any other ionic compounds. The general mechanism is same for all the electrolysis process. The cation will move to the negatively charged electrode, that is to the cathode, and will accept electron and will undergo reduction reaction. On the other hand, the anion will move to the positively charged electrode, that is to the anode, and will release electron and will be oxidized. In this way, at the cathode, reduction reaction will take place, and at the anode, oxidation reaction will take place. And finally, the redox reaction will decompose the ionic compound into its element. Let us see another example of electrolysis for better clarification. Let us discuss the electrolysis of aluminum oxide. Look at the figure. It is the figure for the electrolysis of molten aluminum oxide. Upon melting, aluminum oxide decomposes to aluminum ion and oxide ion. Naturally, the positively charged aluminum ion, aluminum ion moves to the negatively charged electrode, that is to the cathode, and according to this equation, aluminum ion accepts electron to produce aluminum metal. On the other hand, oxide ion, being negatively charged ion, it will move to the positively charged electrode, and according to this equation, oxide ion will release electron, that is, it will be oxidized to produce oxygen gas. Finally, the aluminum oxide will be decomposed to its component elements, aluminum and oxygen. So this is another example of electrolysis reaction. Now we shall discuss the electrolysis process where more than one electrolytes are present. If at the same electrolysis process more than one electrolytes are present, then there will be more than one cation and more than one anion. Then what will happen? Which ion will get the chance to be reduced at the cathode, and which ion will get chance to oxidized at the anode. That is determined by some factors. We shall discuss those factors and then we shall elaborate the point with example also. For understanding which cation will get chance to be reduced at the cathode if more than one cation is present, and which anion will get chance to be oxidized at the anode when more than one anion are present, is determined by a series which is called electrochemical series of electrolysis. In this series, the cations and anions are arranged in such a way that the cation placed below in this series gets priority for being reduced at the cathode. I repeat, the cation placed below in this series will get priority to be reduced at the cathode. Let us elaborate the point with an example. Let you have sodium ion and zinc ion at the same electrolysis method. Then zinc ion will get priority to be reduced at the cathode. At first, zinc ion will accept electron to produce zinc metal. When all zinc ion are converted into zinc metal, then sodium ion will start to be reduced at the cathode. That is the cation placed below in this series will be reduced first. Same for the anion. Let us think that we have chloride ion and hydroxide ion at the same electrolysis process. Then hydroxide ion will get chance for oxidized at the anode first. After oxidation of hydroxide ion, then chloride ion will get chance to be oxidized. If all the hydroxide ions are converted into oxygen gas by oxidation process, only then chloride ion will get chance to be oxidized. So this series is very important for deciding which cation will be reduced at the cathode first and which anion will be reduced oxidized the anode first. And let us elaborate this matter with some example. At first, the electrolysis of dilute sodium chloride solution with platinum electrode. In dilute sodium chloride solution, due to the ionization of sodium chloride, we shall get sodium ion and chloride ion, sodium ion and chloride ion side by side. Since water is also an electrolyte, though it's a weak electrolyte, it will be partially ionized to produce some hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. That is, in this electrolysis process, we have two cations, that is sodium ion and hydrogen ion. We have two cations at the same time in this electrolysis process. Similarly, we have two anions in the electrolysis process at the same time. Now we have to decide between sodium ion and hydrogen ion which ion will get chance for receiving electron at the cathode and to be reduced. According to the series, according to the position of the sodium ion and hydrogen ion, look at this. This is the position of sodium ion and this is the position of hydrogen ion. Hydrogen ion is placed mass below the sodium ion. Since hydrogen ion is placed below sodium ion, hydrogen ion will get chance for receiving electron at the cathode first. Hydrogen ion will get chance for receiving electron at the cathode first. So the cathode reaction is hydrogen ion receiving electron to produce hydrogen gas. Sodium ion is not taking part in the reduction reaction at the cathode. Since sodium ion is placed above the electrochemical series. What about the anode side? In this case, there are two anions, hydroxide ion and chloride ion. Let us look at the position of hydroxide ion and chloride ion in the electrochemical series. Hydroxide ion is placed below chloride ion in this series for this region. Hydroxide ion practically will get chance to be oxidized at the anode and it will release electron to produce water and oxygen gas. So in this case, at the anode, hydroxide ion will release electron to produce water and oxygen gas. Finally, we are getting the cell reaction. Water is being analyzed into its component element, hydrogen and oxygen. So in this electrolysis, practically water is electrolyzed, sodium chloride is remaining unchanged. But since water is being electrolyzed gradually, water is being converted into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. That is, the amount of water is reducing gradually. Since the amount of water is being reducing gradually, the concentration of sodium chloride solution will increase gradually through this electrolysis process. It is to be mentionable that during electrolysis of dilute sodium chloride solution with platinum electrode, practically the electrolysis of water occurs. Sodium chloride remain unchanged. Now we shall discuss another factor for determining what will happen if more than one cation and one anion are present at the same electrolysis process. Another factor is the concentration factor. Now we shall discuss the concentration effect with the example of the electrolysis of concentrated sodium chloride solution, which is called brine with platinum electrode. In concentrated sodium chloride solution, sodium chloride ionizes to produce sodium ion and chloride ion. Similarly, water being and weak electrolyte, it will also partially ionize to produce hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. Now, this time also we have two cations, sodium ion and hydrogen ion, and two anions also, chloride ion and hydroxide ion. Between these two cations, sodium ion and hydrogen ion. Hydrogen ion is placed below in the electrochemical series. We have seen in the previous electrolysis process also. Since hydrogen ion is placed below sodium ion, hydrogen ion will get chance to be reduced at the cathode, and it will accept electron to produce hydrogen gas. It is the cathode reaction. It is the cathode reaction. Now at the anode, what is the scenario at the anode? In this time, according to position of hydroxide ion and chloride ion in the series, hydroxide ion should be oxidized. Since hydroxide ion is placed below chloride ion. But in practice, in case of the electrolysis of brine with platinum electrode, the opposite matters occurs. That is, chloride ion get the chance to be oxidized and produces chlorine gas at the anode. What is the cause? The cause is the high concentration of chloride ion in comparison to the hydroxide ion. The concentration of chloride ion in brine in comparison to hydroxide ion is very high. If we find only one hydroxide ion in the solution, we shall get 1 lakh chloride ion in the solution. If we find 2 hydroxide ion in the solution, we shall get 2 lakh chloride ion in the solution. That is, the concentration of chloride ion is very high. For the high concentration of chloride ion gets chance to be oxidized at the anode in this case. That is, due to concentration effect, the situation reverse according to the position of the hydroxide ion and chloride ion. Hydroxide ion should be oxidized fast because of the high concentration of chloride ion in comparison to hydroxide ion, chloride ion is being oxidized at the anode. So this time the anode reaction is chloride ion loses 2 electrons to produce chlorine gas. In this electrolysis process, hydrogen ion is reduced at the cathode, chloride ion is oxidized at the anode. In the solution, sodium ion and chloride ion remaining in the solution. By the combination of sodium ion and hydroxide ion, it produces sodium hydroxide solution. That is, in this electrolysis process, a very important chemical sodium hydroxide solution is produced at the electrolyte solution. We can separate out this sodium hydroxide by crystallization process after the electrolysis process. So this electrolysis process is very important because we are getting 3 important chemicals. We are getting hydrogen gas at the cathode, chlorine gas at the anode, and sodium hydroxide at the electrolyte solution. In this way, we can produce caustic soda, that is sodium hydroxide, industrially also. This is the concentration effect. We have another effect in this matter, that is the nature of the electrode. We shall elaborate this point with the example of the electrolysis of concentrated sodium chloride solution, that is brine with mercury cathode. It is mentionable that this time we are using mercury cathode instead of platinum, but the electrolyte is remaining same. This time the electrolyte is concentrated sodium chloride solution, that is brine, but the cathode has been changed from platinum to mercury. Sometimes the nature of cathode, that is the metal used in the cathode, affect the nature of the electrolysis. Let us discuss this matter. In sodium chloride solution, that is in brine, due to the ionization of sodium chloride, we are getting sodium ion and chloride ion. Sorry. Then due to the ionization of water, we are getting hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. Now, according to the position of hydrogen ion and sodium ion in the electrochemical series, hydrogen ion should receive electron to be reduced at the cathode. But in this case, that is, if we carry out the electrolysis of concentrated sodium chloride solution with mercury cathode, hydrogen ion will not be reduced at the cathode. Rather, in this time, sodium ion will receive electron to produce sodium metal, because in presence of mercury, the reduction tendency of sodium ion increases highly, and the reduction power of sodium ion becomes more than hydrogen ion. For this reason, sodium ion gets chance to be reduced at the cathode. Sodium ion receive electron to produce sodium metal, and that sodium metal instantly dissolve in mercury to produce sodium amalgam. It produces sodium amalgam. I think you all know what is amalgam. Amalgam is the alloy of mercury with some other metals. Since sodium is dissolved in mercury, this alloy is known as sodium amalgam. This sodium amalgam is produced at the cathode, but since we are using aqueous solution, this sodium amalgam instantly this sodium amalgam produced instantly react with water present in the solution to produce sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Gets free. Mercury gets free. So in this reaction, cathode reaction, practically we are getting sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. In the anode, this time also, since the concentration of chloride ion is very high in comparison to hydroxide ion, the concentration of chloride ion is very high. It is 10 to the power 5 times, that is 1 lakh times higher than that of hydroxide ion. For the very high concentration of chloride ion, this time also at the anode, chloride ion reduces electron to be oxidized and produces chlorine gas. So in this reaction, the cell reaction is sodium chloride get analyzed and produced hydrogen gas, chlorine gas, and sodium hydroxide. Three important chemicals: sodium hydroxide, that is caustic soda, and then hydrogen gas and chlorine gas. We are getting three important chemicals in this electrolysis process. So there are three factors that will determine if more than one cation and one anion are present at the same electrolysis process, which cation will be reduced and which anion will be oxidized at the end. Okay, that is some important points about electrolysis. Now we shall discuss the application of electrolysis. The number one and very important application of electrolysis is electroplating. What is electroplating? It is the process of giving thin coating of a non-reactive or less reactive metal on the surface of an object of reactive metal by electrolysis process is called electroplating. I repeat, the process of giving thin coating of a non-reactive metal on the surface of an object of reactive metal by electrolysis process is called electroplating. Let we have a key made of iron, which is the reactive metal. We would like to give a thin coating of a less reactive metal, copper. Then we can do this job in electrolysis process. So the process of giving thin coating of a non-reactive metal on the surface of an object of reactive metal by electrolysis process is called electroplating. This time the reactive metal object is the key and the non-reactive or less reactive metal is copper. Now how we shall carry out the electrolysis process? We shall use the less reactive or non-reactive metal, that is copper, as anode. Copper will be used as anode, and the object, that is Q, will be used as cathode. This is the principle of electroplating, that the object upon which the plating will be done will be used as cathode, and the non-reactive or good quality metal by which the plating will be done will be used as anode. And a salt of the metal of the anode must be used. In this case, since we have taken copper as anode, we have to use a copper salt like copper sulfate as electrolyte. Copper sulfate as electrolyte. What will happen? What will happen if we carry out the electrolysis using copper sulfate as electrolyte and copper metal as anode and the iron P as cathode? At the anode, look at this reaction. Copper metal will lose electron and will produce copper ion, and that copper ion will be dissolved in the aqueous solution. This copper ion will come to the aqueous solution, and at the cathode side from the solution, one copper ion will accept electron from the anode, that is sorry, from the cathode, that is from the key, and that will produce copper metal. This copper metal will be deposited at the surface of the key. So I repeat, what will happen? The copper metal with lose electron to be converted into copper ion, and that will come to the copper sulfate solution. As a result, the solution will be positively charged because one copper ion is more here. Then copper ion present in the solution will accept electron on the cathode, that is from the uh, surface of the key we have used at the cathode, and that will be reduced to be converted into copper metal. This copper metal will be deposited at the surface of the key. As a result, the key will be covered with a thin coating of copper metal. In this way, we can give a very thin coating of copper on this key with the help of electrolysis process, which is an example of electroplating. In this way, you can give uh, any metal coating over any metal object uh, by electrolysis process. Let you like to give the plating of nickel metal over a spoon of iron. Then you will use the um, iron spoon at the cathode and nickel metal at the anode, and you will take the nickel salt solution like nickel chloride or nickel sulfate, and if you carry electrolysis, then a thin coating of nickel will be given at the surface of the iron. This is the general principle. Now another application of electrolysis process that is very important, refining of blister copper. What is blister copper? Maybe you know that the copper extracted from uh, mining, that is during copper extraction, we don't get 100% pure copper, we get 97% pure copper, which is called blister copper. For removing the remaining 3% impurities, we can take help of electrolysis process. And that is the refining of blister copper by electrolysis process. It is also known as electro-refining of metal. For electro-refining of metal, we use the impure metal as anode, that is blister copper. These green bars, heavy bars, are the blister copper, made of blister copper, and these thin foil are made of pure copper. These are pure copper. We have used 3 cells at the same time in a series connection. 3 cells. We have 3 anodes, 1, 2, 3, and 3 cathodes, 1, 2, 3. Now we shall take copper sulfate solution as electrolyte. Then if we pass electricity through the electrolyte, then the reaction at the anode side, that is in this blister copper, from this blister copper bar, copper atom will lose electron to produce copper ion, which is oxidation reaction, and from the solution, copper ion will accept electron to produce copper metal. This copper metal will be deposited at the surface of the thin foil of pure copper in this thin foil, So this thin foil of copper will get weight, that is pure copper will be deposited at the surface of these thin foils, and the copper blister copper bar will lose weight, and finally the copper will be deposited at the thin foil of the copper metal, and we shall get pure copper. In this way, we can carry out the purification of any metal, and the same way the metal uh, the impure metal is to be placed at the anode, and the thin foil of the pure metal is placed at the cathode. Then the electrolysis of the salt of the respective metal is carried out, and we get uh, pure metal at the cathode. So this is the last discussion of today's class. Today I shall give you some homework uh, related to this class. Number one question: what is electrolysis? Number two: describe the electrolysis of molten sodium chloride, molten aluminum oxide, uh, sodium chloride solution at different conditions. Number three: describe electroplating with example. Number four: describe electro-refining of copper. So study this part of this chapter from this video lecture, and you should take help of your books available, and stay home, stay well. Thank you very